All right, welcome back to our channel, guys. Got a how-to video today on how to reset a breaker. I'm also going to show you how to actually test the socket, the plug-in, to see if what's going on, if there's actually power to it or not. As you see, the breaker panel's behind me. This video actually came up because we had one of our mentors with Advanced Camp here in Texas. Actually, today I'm sporting Advanced Camp Oregon. Check the goods out there. He had this employee called him and said, "Hey, I don't get it. There's no lights on. There's no power. Nothing's happening with my plugins. What's going on here?" He goes, "Well, did you check the breakers?" And his first response was, "I don't know how." And this young man is in his early 20s and had never experienced how to reset a breaker before. So it's decided to add that to our list. So today we're going to show you how to do that. But once that breaker's blown, I can go through and tell you if there's power to this specific plug-in. This is a perfect example of turning your switch or your breaker off. So then you can replace your plug-in because you can test to see if there's actually power coming to it or not. So we're going to walk through that. So you got the breaker box behind us. I'm going to flip the camera around. That way you guys can see what's going on with the breakers, show you what it looks like, and then show you how to go test, flip the breaker back on, how to identify when it's actually blown because it's only moved a little bit, and then go retest it once that's done and show you that the current is now passing through those plugs again. So quick scan up the breaker box. You can see all this going on right here. See how they're all going, and then boom, one of those looks funny, right? Got this one right here, it looks a little bit funny. It's all pushed to the right. So that means the breaker's turned off. You actually, on your breaker panel, especially if it's a newer home, they'll list exactly what these things are for. And I just did the garage so you guys could see all in close proximity to the breaker box. So you follow up here and you say, okay, which one is going? There's 13, there's 15, 17, 19, 23, 27. Oh, there's two at 27. That's weird. So you come down to your panel here and I'll show you on your thing. It says 27, B and A. A is garage outlet plugs. So that tells you where that breaker is going to. So if one's popped, you can tell exactly what it is. Vice versa. Let's say you are in the kitchen and your GFCIs aren't working. You come out here, you look in the list, there's number 25A is kitchen GFI. You can go in there and you reset your breaker, and then if the GFCI needs to be reset, I can show you that as well because I have some out here in the garage. So just a side note on that. So there you go. That's how the breaker's off. I don't know if it'll actually let me do this without actually blowing the breaker, but it'll be popped about like, whoops, it'll be popped just about like that when the breaker's popped. It won't be all the way over to the side if you blow your breaker. So you have to look through, and are they all in line? The one that's just out of line, you want to flip it all the way off, and then you flip it back on. So we're going to leave this off just in this position. I'm going to show you, I'm going to go test, and then I'm going to flip it back on, show you the test again, and you can see that your plug-in is actually working. So we'll move over to the plug now. All right, y'all, at the plug, and here is my tester. You can hit the on button, see it, green light's on. I should be able to touch. Oh, that's weird. It's showing power. Showing that there's power here. All right, so now we're at actually plug-in versus the GFCI. Got my tester out again. Green light's on. No noise. So what does that tell us? That tells us that this plug-in is not on the GFCI same circuit. So that GFCI has got to be on something else. It's probably running on the kitchen one or the pantry or the restroom one, which is not uncommon to run a GFCI outside into the garage and run it off of one of those circuits. So here's your plugs. This is why I have one of these testers, man. I highly advise buying one. You can get them, I think, for like 10 bucks at Home Depot. Get one of these testers. So this makes sure that if you're going to replace this plug with a cool fancy one with a USB port or a different color, you're trying to do an upgrade into your home, get one of these. Make sure you turned off the right breaker and make sure it works. So It's just getting a weird current there. It's actually not getting any power to it. So, yep, there's no beeping going on. There could be a different kind of ground. All right, so let's move back to the panel. I'm going to turn the panel back on and show you the noise it'll make when that power is on, and then find the breaker for that other GFCI. All right, utility GFCI. Could likely be that one that's causing that GFCI to still have power in the garage. So I'm going to test that one really quick. All right, so we got this breaker off. We just saw it tested. It's 27A, 27A, garage and outlet plugs. So I'm going to go over there and we're going to test it again, show you that the noise starts up. Tells us that there's power going to it. Let's go test the plug. All right, so got the breaker turned back on. It should be doing that annoying beeping and flashing red light to tell us that there is power going on to this plug now. So I'll tell you that the breaker's back on. Everything's working like it should be. This is when you do not want to be replacing switches and plugs. This is when you'll get an alert you never want to. So look at that. I don't even get close to it and it starts beeping. I'm not even touching it and it's telling me there's power coming through this. You can even test the cables itself to tell you that they're power going running through it. So don't want to mess with those. So there you go. That's how you reset a breaker. Once it's popped off, you want to turn it all the way off and then turn it back on. Make sure you got power coming through those switches. All right, got it all tested. Everything looks good. Working like it's supposed to. So you want to throw your breaker before you do any kind of replacing switches or plugs, light fixtures, fans, any of that stuff. If you don't feel comfortable with it, please call a professional. I have never shocked myself yet, but I also run one of these testers all the time. I always have it with me to make sure that's right. I don't just single check it, I double, triple check it. 110 is a very dangerous voltage. It can kill you, so do it wisely. There's your basics. Learn how to reset a breaker. Until next time.